Back to the Future 1985 is one of the most beloved sci-fi films of all time, blending adventure, comedy, and time travel into a cinematic masterpiece. With unforgettable performances and a story that continues to captivate audiences, the movie remains a classic. But what happened to the actors who brought these iconic characters to life? Let's take a look at where the Back to the Future cast is today. Dr. Emmett Doc Brown was played by Christopher Lloyd, who was 46 when he brought the eccentric, wild-haired scientist to life. His portrayal of the brilliant but scatterbrained inventor, famous for his frantic energy and "Great Scott!" exclamations, made him one of the most beloved characters in sci-fi history.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
His chemistry with Michael J. Fox turned Doc Brown and Marty McFly into one of cinema's most iconic duos. Unlike some of his Back to the Future co-stars who embraced high-profile Hollywood lifestyles, Lloyd remained a deeply private person. While he continued acting in major films and TV series, including The Addams Family and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, he avoided the limelight. One surprising fact about him is that he rarely watches his own films and prefers working in theater over Hollywood. He has also been married 5 times, with each marriage ending in divorce, a stark contrast to his calm and reserved public image. Now 85, Lloyd still appears at conventions and embraces his legacy, occasionally reprising Doc Brown for special projects. Lorraine Baines McFly was played by Leah Thompson, who was 24 when she took on the role of Marty McFly's caring yet naive mother. Her performance brought humor and charm to Back to the Future, especially in the past timeline, where Lorraine's crush on Marty created some of the film's most awkward and hilarious moments.
To meet you, Calvin. Marty? Clyde?
Thompson's ability to portray both the youthful and older versions of Lorraine showcased her range as an actress. Rather than pursuing the typical Hollywood path of her co-stars, Thompson expanded her career into directing and producing. She starred in several films and TV shows, but eventually stepped behind the camera, directing episodes of Star Trek Picard and The Goldbergs. However, behind the scenes, she has openly discussed the sexism she faced in Hollywood, revealing how she lost out on major roles due to male-dominated industry politics. She also shocked fans when she admitted that her chemistry test for a major role turned into a humiliating experience of being judged solely on her looks. Now 62, Thompson continues acting and directing while advocating for more opportunities for women in film. Linda McFly was played by Wendy Jo Sperber, who was 26 when she took on the role of Marty McFly's talkative and somewhat clueless older sister. Though her role was small, her lively performance helped establish the McFly family's contrasting personalities, especially in the altered timeline, where she becomes a more confident version of herself. While other Back to the Future cast members continued in Hollywood, Sperber's career took a different path. She was known for her comedic talent, starring in various TV sitcoms, but her life took a heartbreaking turn when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Instead of stepping away from the public eye, she used her platform to raise awareness and founded WeSpark, a cancer support center for patients and their families. Her resilience and advocacy became as much a part of her legacy as her acting. Sperber passed away at 46, leaving behind a powerful impact both in entertainment and in the fight against cancer, inspiring many with her strength. Take a moment to comment your favorite Linda McFly moment to honor her memory and celebrate her incredible legacy. George McFly was played by Crispin Glover, who was 21 when he took on the role of Marty McFly's socially awkward but kind-hearted father. His performance made George one of the most memorable characters in Back to the Future, with his nervous laugh, odd mannerisms, and eventual transformation into a confident man.
Hey, you! Get your damn hands off!
Glover's unique acting style added a quirky charm that set him apart from typical Hollywood performances. Rather than following the traditional career paths of his co-stars, Glover became known for his unconventional and often controversial choices. After a highly publicized dispute over pay and creative differences, he refused to return for the sequels, leading the studio to use another actor with prosthetics and repurposed footage, something he later sued them for and won. Beyond acting, his bizarre interviews, surreal independent films, and infamous talk show moment where he nearly kicked David Letterman in the face cemented his reputation as one of Hollywood's most eccentric figures. Now 59, Glover continues making indie films, writing books, and embracing his legacy as an unpredictable artist. Biff Tannen was played by Thomas F. Wilson, who was 26 when he took on the role of the loudmouthed, intimidating bully.
Get the hell out of my car, old man!
You want to marry that girl, Biff?
His performance, filled with over-the-top insults and physical comedy, made Biff one of the most iconic antagonists in film history. Whether playing the high school jock, the corrupt billionaire, or the bumbling old man, Wilson gave each version of Biff a distinct and unforgettable presence. Instead of chasing blockbuster fame like some of his co-stars, Wilson pivoted toward a more diverse career. He continued acting but found greater joy in stand-up comedy, voice work, and painting. One of the most surprising aspects of his life is his complicated relationship with Back to the Future. Despite loving the fans, he has spoken about the frustration of being constantly asked the same questions about Biff. This even led him to write a comedy song about it. Unlike his on-screen persona, Wilson is known for being an incredibly kind and thoughtful person. Now 64, he continues performing, painting, and embracing his cult status while maintaining a low Hollywood profile. Before we dive into the journey of Back to the Future's most beloved character, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Marty McFly was played by Michael J. Fox, who was 24 when he took on the role of the quick-witted and adventurous teenager. His performance made Marty one of the most beloved characters in pop culture.
All right, give me a Pepsi free.
You want a Pepsi, pal? You're gonna pay for it.
Look, just give me something without any sugar.
Perfectly capturing the humor, energy, and charm that define the Back to the Future franchise. His comedic timing and natural chemistry with Christopher Lloyd helped turn the films into a phenomenon. Rather than experiencing the public scandals that plagued some of his Back to the Future co-stars, Fox faced a very different kind of challenge. At just 29, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a shocking revelation that he initially kept private while continuing his career. When he made his condition public years later, he became a leading advocate for Parkinson's research, raising millions through his foundation. Despite the struggles, he continued acting in shows like Spin City and The Good Wife, proving his resilience. Now 62, Fox has largely retired from acting, but remains one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, dedicating his life to Parkinson's awareness and medical advancements. Jennifer Parker was played by Claudia Wells, who was 19 when she took on the role of Marty McFly's supportive and caring girlfriend. Though her screen time was limited, her chemistry with Michael J. Fox added warmth to the film, making Jennifer a beloved character.
Respectable.
Well, she's not doing a very good job.
Terrible.
Save the clock tower!
Her performance captured the youthful optimism of a teenager, caught up in her boyfriend's wild time-traveling adventures. While some of her Back to the Future co-stars pursued long Hollywood careers, Wells stepped away from acting after the first film. She was originally set to reprise her role in the sequels, but had to drop out to care for her mother, who had been diagnosed with cancer. Her sudden disappearance from Hollywood left many fans wondering what happened to her. Years later, she returned to acting in independent films and even reprised Jennifer's voice for a Back to the Future video game. Now 57, Wells runs a high-end men's clothing store in California while staying connected to fans through conventions and social media. Mr. Strickland was played by James Tolkan, who was 54 when he took on the role of the strict and intimidating Hill Valley High School principal. His portrayal of the no-nonsense educator, famous for calling students slackers, added a layer of comedic authority to the Back to the Future films.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker. You remind me of your father when he was...
His stern demeanor and tough presence made him both a feared and beloved figure in the franchise. While many of his Back to the Future co-stars embraced larger Hollywood careers, Tolkan became a well-respected character actor, often playing tough, authoritative roles. He appeared in Top Gun and Dick Tracy, cementing his status as one of cinema's most recognizable stern-faced figures. Despite his intimidating on-screen persona, fans are often surprised to learn that Tolkan is a soft-spoken and kind-hearted man in real life, far from the strict disciplinarian he portrays. Now 92, Tolkan enjoys retirement, but occasionally makes convention appearances, where he is still asked to yell, "Slacker," at fans. Dave McFly was played by Mark McClure, who was 28 when he took on the role of Marty McFly's older fast food working brother. Though his screen time was brief, his character's transformation from a loser in the original timeline to a confident businessman after Marty alters the past helped showcase the impact of time travel on the McFly family. While some of his Back to the Future co-stars pursued high-profile Hollywood careers, McClure became known for his work in superhero films, most notably as Jimmy Olsen in the Superman series starring Christopher Reeve. His career continued steadily, but he never reached A-list status. A lesser-known fact about him is that he was quietly phased out of major roles, despite being part of two massive franchises, leading to speculation that he struggled with industry politics or typecasting. Now 66, McClure still makes occasional film appearances and remains active in fan conventions, where he embraces his legacy as part of two of the biggest film franchises in history. Sam Baines was played by George DiCenzo, who was 45 when he took on the role of Lorraine Baines McFly's strict yet loving father. His performance, though brief, added humor to Back to the Future, particularly in the awkward dinner scene where he watches the honeymooners and questions Marty's odd behavior. Whereas some of his Back to the Future co-stars remained in the spotlight, DiCenzo built a long but lower-profile career as a character actor. He appeared in over 100 television shows and movies, often playing tough authority figures. However, what many don't know is that he also had a career in voice acting and was a prominent acting teacher. He helped train many rising actors but largely stayed out of Hollywood's flashy social circles. DiCenzo passed away at 70 due to sepsis. Though not a household name, his contributions to film, television, and acting education left a lasting impact on the industry. Nearly 40 years later, Back to the Future remains a fan favorite, with its cast forever linked to one of the greatest films of all time. While some actors have continued to find success in Hollywood, others have faced personal struggles or stepped away from the spotlight. No matter where they are today, their performances will always be part of cinematic history. Which Back to the Future star's journey surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on your favorite movie casts. Until next time.